The head of the Crime and Misconduct Commission is in trouble again, this time for allegedly misleading a parliamentary committee. Last week, Dr Levy said he hadn't been contacted by the government before he wrote an article that supported the government's anti-bikie laws. Today it emerged the Premier's media chief had been on the phone to the CMC. Dr Levy says he's embarrassed by the mistake, but his article wasn't politically motivated. The opposition leader Anastasia Palaszczuk joined me in the studio earlier. Anastasia Palaszczuk, last week you asked Dr Ken Levy under oath about his Courier Mail article which praised the anti-bikie laws. What were you hoping to find out?
Well, I kept my questioning deliberately broad because I suspected that Dr Levy may have had some contact with someone within the government or a government department. Now, today, the truth has been revealed and Dr Levy's position is no longer tenable. He must stand down and he must resign. So, yeah, the letter today says that the article, which was published on October the 31st, was preceded by a telephone call on October the 22nd by the head of the Government Media Relations Unit. That's right. The independence of the CMC has now been compromised. We now know that Lee Anderson, the head of the Government Media Unit, had made approaches to the CMC Media Unit, and Dr Levy was very well aware of this. And he may have misled the parliamentary committee in relation to this matter. He says he forgot. I don't accept that for a moment, not at all. My questioning was deliberate. I asked not once, not twice, but 3 times. He denied any knowledge. He said it was his own personal work. Now, Section 57 of the CMC Act is very clear. They must act independently. And now we've got Mr Lee Anderson from the Government Media Unit. This issue now goes to the heart of the Premier's office. The Premier's office was involved in contacting Dr Levy to put forward the government line on the bikie legislation. Well, one of the commissioners of the CMC also writes today in a memo that was tabled in Parliament that Mr Lee Anderson said to them that he'd been speaking to the Attorney-General as well, and they'd both decided that they wanted the CMC to do some media. Today has been an extraordinary day. The Assistant Commissioner's letter confirms exactly what you said, that the Attorney-General was also involved. This has compromised the independence of the CMC. This is taking us back to pre-Fitzgerald days. Dr Levy's contract has been extended by this government by 7 months. That was announced today. It was announced today on the same day that we now find out the real truth. His position is untenable. The opposition no longer has any confidence. How can Queenslanders have confidence in keeping Dr Levy in this role? One Commissioner, Philip Nace, talks about the phone call from Lee Anderson, who's head of the government's communication unit, describing it as like an approach to a department and not like an approach to an independent office. How concerning is that for you? That is very concerning. His letter points very clearly that the CMC was being compromised because you can talk to individual departments, but the CMC is beyond reproach. They should act independently with integrity. They must uphold the public confidence in their independence. And by taking these actions, it has now compromised the CMC. In the past, the CMC chairs are appointed with bipartisan support. He no longer has the opposition's support. Peter Wellington has also expressed that he has no confidence. And today we have learnt the truth. He must resign, he must stand down so we can preserve in this state the integrity and the independence of the CMC. As you say, the Government Gazette came out earlier today extending the term of Ken Levy. Do you think they knew that this bad press was coming? Well, what I think we need now is a full and open public inquiry. If the government has nothing to fear, let's have a full independent parliamentary inquiry and let's get to the root of the matter and let's find out. But it seems to me, and I'll let Queenslanders make up their mind, but it just seems a little bit odd that he would be extended on the same day that we find out that he has potentially lied and misled a parliamentary committee. These are issues that could also go to the police under the Lying to Parliament Act. So his letter today apologising for his forgetfulness, you don't think that absolves him? I don't accept that at all. I asked 3 times, not once, not twice, 3 times. So will you move some motion in Parliament seeking that he be charged? We'll be looking at our options. This is a very serious matter. He should fall on his sword today. He should resign, and Lee Anderson's position is no longer tenable. He should resign as well. He is the Premier's right-hand person. He is up to this in his neck, and if he knew about it, I'm quite sure the Premier knew about it as well.
All right, Anastasia Palaszczuk, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The Premier and the Attorney-General were not available to come on the program, but Mr Blaze says the government respects the CMC's independence. Dr Levy says he wants to assure Queenslanders that the CMC's objectivity has not been compromised.